Me, being active. Evie's story.
When I was younger, I was always around horses anyway, and I had a bit of a naughty pony at the start who was really good for learning on, and then you kind of get a bit more confident. Instead of mum leading and walking around with me, I'd kind of be on my own. And that was when he'd buck, so he'd just put his head between his knees and just flick his back end up. So I started primary school with a broken wrist because of my pony. I've got supposedly gastroparesis, which is where the stomach muscles don't work. I just need to be tube fed because I can't eat properly. And then my spina bifida affects my bladder and bowels, so that's why I've got the drainage bags on, due to my bladder being incontinent. So this drains all the time, so then my bladder never has to hold anything. When you're riding, the toilets are never nearby. So you end up walking about half a mile to the toilets, and by then your legs are tired, so you can't walk. I'd be weeing myself while I was riding, so it's really important for me to then have the free drainage on, and then I don't have to jump off the horse every 5 seconds. Being open about your condition really helps, and also just getting on with life. It helps your condition in general and how you cope with it. So this is Daisy. She's mainly a show jumper. She's very wonderful at her job, and she looks after me as well. So as a rider, I don't have to worry about falling off or having a stop or something. I know that she'll get me to the other side of the fence. We've won every single class we've entered. At every show we've been to, we've won, which is incredible, and I do really love her. I think a lot of people, if you say, well, I horse ride, and, I'm not really made for it because I have to stretch myself out for an hour before, it can be quite daunting. But for me, when you find something that you really do love so much, nothing else really matters. Any obstacles that it takes to try and do that sport, you'll do 10 times over if it means you can do the sport. My legs struggle a lot because the calves and hamstrings are really tight. And the way you sit on a horse, it kind of mimics what you would do in physio. You're just literally sat on a horse and it can move, it can do whatever, so balance is really crucial with that. It helps to stretch the legs down. Having a disability doesn't affect sporting too much. You can still take part as much as you want to. In some elements it can be very daunting, and you can worry about how you're going to manage a disability and a sport at the same time and make it enjoyable and not kind of a stressful thing. It's a great way to make friends, and once you've got those friends, it does come easily with more support and more help, especially for your disability. Having close friends has really helped me, and I've met a lot of really good friends through horses. Because I'm quite jokey about my condition, they know it's okay to laugh with me, and they support me as well, so they know when something isn't right. It's really, really important when I'm not very well or when I'm in hospital that I've got something to look forward to come out and do. And just having that little bit of freedom that makes everything worthwhile. And I think the freedom of being on a horse and then all of a sudden you're not a patient or an illness, you're just on the horse and you can do what you want, and that's one thing you have control over. Even though when you get off the horse, it's plugging back into a feed or putting your splints back on or taking a medication. When you're on the horse, you've just got complete freedom.
Find out more about being active. Visit www.efds.co.uk.